What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter. I think I got a classic interview. Today I got the homie Tristan. He's actually like the son of Coby Mack. The coach put a lot of crazy names on him. I just wanted to say his name so we all know. Tristan was nice enough to give me an opportunity to speak to him. How you doing, legend?
Pretty good. How about you?
Man, I'm coolin', bro. Now, for the people who don't really know what's going on, you would kind of like explain what your name is, where you're from, and how you're related to Coby.
Obviously, my name is Tristan. I'm from the west side of Chicago, and he married my mom when I was around 5-ish, 6.
Right. So you was real young when Coby got involved in your life.
Yes.
Right. That's like dad shit.
Yeah. That's
right.
what I call him. I don't call him my stepdad. I call him my pops.
Right. I kind of want to jump right into it. The whole world don't really know Coby as much, but they know of him.
Yeah.
A lot of documentaries about him. From being around him, how was Coby? Because the internet just portrayed him as like Frankenstein,
See, from my standpoint, he was a family man. He would most likely put family first no matter what.
Right.
He'd come home like late at night,
Right.
and we'd be playing a game like Call of Duty, GTA,
Right.
for hours. You could go to him, talk to him about anything. If he was out south and I got into it in Wisconsin, he would drop whatever he was doing out south to
Right.
come and protect me. Yeah.
Not to, throw any shade on anybody or
Yeah.
anything like that, but like your real dad wasn't around anything like that.
He came and went, to be
Okay.
honest. Like, he was one of those, like, show up when the accomplishments was made and disappear when I was working towards him.
Right.
So that's why I really call Coby my pops, because he was one of the people that was there
Right.
and was working with me.
When he was around you, did you know that people in the world knew who he was, or did you find that out later on and shit like that?
It was a mixture of both.
Okay.
He would bring me around certain people, but it wasn't like I knew what those people was involved in at that time. Because I was like 10, 11 at the time.
Was the internet real big around that time?
Not that I know of. I wasn't really
Right. So you didn't know about like Coby Mack don't shoot him.
Oh, nah.
Right. You just knew.
I just knew what he was
Right.
on. Yeah.
I hear a lot of stories of like people growing up in the hood. A man eventually comes in their life.
Yeah.
They struggle with that. Did you have problems, or he was like accepted Coby automatically, or y'all had y'all problems growing up?
We had, I wouldn't say issues, it was just his form of parenting was something I was like, wasn't really like, I guess, keen to. Like, my mom, she was more of a like, if something happened, you need to tell immediately. He was the keep your mouth shut, don't tell, don't get involved type.
Right.
So it was like a clash of my mom and stuff like that. He was more of you need to defend yourself. My mom was the type to tell the teacher, tell him to stop, then act.
He was more the aggressive.
Yeah, he was more the aggressive. My mom was like more passive.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you get to the point when you started typing his name in on YouTube? Because I speak to a lot of rappers, a lot of friends and shit, but people don't know, like, the family really has to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
Rappers say their names in a song, get a t-shirt, and that's it. They're not sending money to the family.
Yeah.
They're not helping the youngsters grow up and shit. Did you start Googling his name after he passed, or you were doing it when he was alive?
I promise, I did after he passed.
Okay.
After he passed, I made a promise to my brother that I figure out who did it in a sense, because when he died, the day that we found out he died, it didn't hit my brother yet.
Okay.
It wasn't until maybe a week or so, or after the funeral, that actually hit him, and then that's when that anger came, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill him." My brother was 5 at this time, so hearing a 5-year-old say that, I'm like, no, I need you to calm down.
Okay, hold up. Wait a minute now. We can't go through that too fast. I think that's strong, Tristan. Your brother was 5 and already had revenge in him at that moment.
Yeah.
How did you calm him down with like that? That kind of affected him?
It definitely affected him, because he was I don't like to bring in like
Right.
zodiac signs or whatever, but he was Aries, so he was he was a natural hot-headed in my opinion.
Right.
And no matter what he got, he was constantly fighting, and he actually hung around Coby more than I ever did.
Right.
So he already had that in him. So he was fighting anybody dissed him on PlayStation, he was cursing them out. Like, it was bad. And I tried to get him into sports like baseball, anything I was doing at the time. I was trying to get him into that, to just get him away from that. But over time, I just told him, like, I don't need you to do anything. I need you to just focus on what you're doing. I'm gonna figure this out. So then that's when I started Googling his name, and every time I Googled it, it was Brick. And at first it was Brick and his friend Coby.
Right.
And over the years, then it was Brick and his cousin Coby.
Right.
And I was looking up Sun Times, all type of stuff, Spot News, and that's when I really was constant. Yeah.
So when you started jumping in these DMs, did anybody respond back? Because I want to be honest. I recall some years ago, I think you jumped in my DM.
Yeah, I think I asked you about the interview.
Right, I did an interview with Coby that I took down
Yeah.
Off his request.
Yeah.
When you start getting these DMs, when you start DMing people, did you notify your family like, hey, I'm starting to find shit and shit like that? Or it was still fucking, I'm gonna keep doing my research.
I'm gonna keep doing my. It was more. I was keep doing my research because like I didn't want to. I feel like the way that we lost him, like if we lost him to like natural causes, I'm like okay.
Right.
But the way that we lost him, it's like okay, if you keep hearing stuff from the streets, and that's basically like how we lost him. I feel like nobody was still like prepared for that.
Right.
So I wanted to keep doing research, and then over time, I was just like, it kind of like started to affect my mental health in a sense.
Right.
It was like I was so engulfed in that.
Your friends knew about all this shit too? All your friends and...
Oh no, this is stuff that I did by myself, but they saw the effects of it.
Right.
Like I started isolating myself and stopped going outside because then I still became more paranoid as I was really seeing how deep this stuff goes. So.
Did you ever get to a point where you find yourself, because I was told, you know, I interview a lot of people, you know, and I talk to a lot of family members of victims who tell me, just keep it anonymous, okay? And I talk to some people that comes out. Did it get to a point where you start twisting your fingers up and shit and start thinking about joining gangs? And did it get to a point like that? Any one of the brothers? Because it's the man not around no more.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I wasn't like serious. I had the thoughts of it.
Right.
But like, I had to like be mature and real with myself. Like, a lot of people have died because of this. And me throwing up one gang sign is going, somebody could see that and they may want some points and get me just because, like, and over time, he wasn't my first loss. I had one friend who threw up a gang sign one time in his picture and he got killed.
Oh, so you went through that again?
Yeah. So after that, it was just like, why would I die for a gang that's not going to really, like, you don't benefit from it.
Right.
And then I also started doing my, like, looking at the history of gangs. Back then, it was structure. It was hierarchy. Now, you got same sex beefing with each other and stuff like that. So why would I want to be having to watch my back against people that I'm against, but also the people that I'm supposed to be with? And so over time, I was just like, gang isn't okay. And I also told myself that if people can stand on the corner for hours and make maybe a couple dollars, then they can also be in the stores and working a real job and making money that way and not have to risk their life. So
I kind of think you're going to make more money at the job than standing on that damn corner at this point, to be honest with you. What about moms? Moms, she see the shit, you know, Coby an assassin, Coby this, you know, this happened. How mom, did this affect mom? She worry about you? You know, she found out you doing this interview, she said, hey now, hold up now. You know, some of that kind of shit.
She started to like, I don't want to say distance herself, but she makes sure, like, the way we live our life changed. Like, we moved. She instantly got us out of the city of Chicago.
Oh, so y'all left this dangerous place.
Yeah, we left, and we, like, at one point, I couldn't even come back to the city. Because, like, even I was in the suburbs, I was here. Like, this is where I'm from. Like, I kept trying to come back here.
Oh,
so
couldn't let it go.
Yeah, she literally banned, like, basically, for one point, like, almost banned me from coming back. So it was like she tightened up her grip around us as kids until we were able to see what was going on and be able to move different.
Right. No, I get that. I totally get that. I think that's the right thing. Was it hard for you to come out and finally speak?
No, it took time.
It took time.
It definitely took time because at first I didn't. At first I was one of those people that always cared what people thought,
Right.
and I always didn't want to hurt people's feelings.
Right.
But the truth is the truth no matter what. So, and I realized that a lot of people, like I see comments, the negative comments.
So you do see it.
I always see it, and sometimes I'll be defending, but over time.
Also, it gets you to the point where you responding.
Yeah, I'm always. Sometimes I respond to people, and
Right.
but then I also realize that people have their opinions. We live in America's free speech, so they're gonna say whatever they want. I can't stop that. But at the same time, I gotta realize that they gotta realize that this is also somebody's family that they talking about,
Right.
and I'm a big believer in karma. So if what people say, the things that people do, is gonna always come back to them. And that's what has been keeping me.
You know, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people, they be confused. They think I'm an interviewer. And I tell them I'm not an interviewer. I'm a blogger. And, you know, I'm a drill historian, a street reporter. I've been documenting the culture and gang violence for a long time. You know, I guess because I'm black, they make it look like I promote it and I'm happy about it. I feel like if I maybe had a different skin color, they'll look at me like a journalist.
They black or something.
I think, but what I want to ask you is, you know, I think talking to you is more intriguing than talking to a lot of rappers, you know, because you actually go through these birthdays without Coby and shit like that. Did you ever get to a point, you know, you did want revenge? I asked you that and shit like that, but is the revenge feeling out you?
Yeah, because no matter what, even if I go kill somebody, that ain't gonna bring them back. That's not gonna stop me from feeling the pain I feel. That's gonna add that pain that I felt onto somebody else. So, yeah, that whole revenge thing is off. And I feel like when people start to realize that and really get their mind right, they gonna see that all the killing that's going on, it's not gonna bring their people back. It's not gonna stop them from hurting. And
you know, you kind of seem positive now, but it was moments where you was on the other rap, you know. Yeah. I can sense it. It was moments where, you know, was mom ever worried about you? Are you ever worried about yourself? Did you grow up Tristan or I'm Coby's son? Like,
my mom was definitely worried about me because I was a hothead.
Right.
I'm one of the people that I'm gonna be quiet, like, but I used to hold a lot of stuff in and then release it all at one moment.
Daddy.
Yeah. Right. So she's always worried about me, and that's when I had to realize at myself. One, the thing that stopped me was people don't fight no more. Mm-hmm. I get upset, I bug up on the wrong person, I'm gonna lose my life, and then my mama got hurt, have more hurt all over again.
So that's true. Out here, ain't no fighting.
There's no more fighting. Either you getting jumped or you getting shot. If you win, you turn your back, you getting shot.
Yeah, out here. How did you move around out here growing up? As you know, people knew you was related to, you know, the culture. Did anybody use that against you? Were you targeted growing up? Did you ever use that to your advantage?
No, I kind of just, after what happened, I use that as a lesson, to be honest.
Right.
I tried to live my life, go to high school, focus on sports. I wasn't really trying to do too much with that.
You know, I got a hard question I want to ask.
Yeah.
You know, I was gonna hold this, but you know, I gotta be honest. I got you in here, you know, and I don't know why people always say, "Man, y'all gonna die on the camera and all that shit." There, you know, that's not what this is about. You know, everybody get a chance to tell their story instead of just some grizzly savage. You know.
Yes, sir.
As far as Coby friends, you know, anybody still contact y'all? Anybody, you know, not to sound shady with that, but anybody still check on like the youngins? And you have anybody still in your life after you left?
From me specifically, at least from my side, Paparazzi Poe, he still texts me. We actually be playing the game sometimes. I know a couple people actually text my auntie though too.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are, but I know they text her. They check up on her every once in a while.
Okay. What about Duck? You know, the internet tells stories of Brick and Duck being related to Kobe. Is this like street related or this real related?
From my understanding, I think Kobe and Duck were related. They're cousins. Yeah.
Did you know that?
I saw him around because he came to one of my baseball games.
Oh, he came to your baseball game?
Yeah, he came to one of my baseball games. So this is my first time seeing him. He came, I think, I was playing at Garfield Park, and he came to my baseball game, and Kobe, he ended up dropping off me like a PS4 card.
Oh.
And one of my homies, he was like ecstatic. He was like, hey, there go Duck, there go Duck. And nobody knew who he was. This was like, like when I was like, I think 10 or 11.
Right.
Yeah, 10 or 11. So he was like, I won't say he was just coming up, but he wasn't as known as he was after he made slides and stuff. So my homie's just overly ecstatic. And then, yeah.
You know, are you surprised that all those guys, you know, not here no more, as far as like Kobe, Duck, Brick? Is that shocking to you, you know, now that you're grown?
Respectfully, no. But
okay, what you mean by that?
The way that people, I say that jealousy is an extreme drug, and especially now, like before, at least from my knowledge, I don't want to speak on stuff I don't know about for real, but I didn't see Duck as a killer. So it's not like he killed somebody and the karma was coming back for him. I saw him actually doing something positive, and people always is like, they always say like, oh, he made Deadbeats, and it's like, yeah, he made that song, what about all his other songs that he made, Chicago Legend, stuff like that.
Right.
Nobody look at that. But because he was coming up and he was making a name for himself, and he was actually responding to all of their songs, he got killed.
Right.
Now, Brick, I can't speak on him because I don't know too much. But with Kobe, I can't speak on him too much because I wasn't around him that much, and I don't know what he did. But what I do know is, at the time that Duck died, he was pushing for peace. The time when Kobe died, he was calling. Like, he called me that morning. He called me and my mom that morning.
Oh, so the day Kobe passed, you talked to him?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
He was going to the gym.
Oh, so he was on his way to the gym.
He was on his way to the gym, at least that morning. But when he passed, he was trying to change his life around. He was trying to move different and everything.
Right.
So
he had a different energy around that time.
Yeah, I feel like once people really start trying to change, that's when it always happens. So
now you get the news. You know, they call y'all. Did you get called, or like how did you get the news about Kobe passing?
I had just got home from summer camp, and I locked myself out the house. So I was downstairs in my tenant apartment, and it was like 5 o'clock, and my mom wasn't home yet, and she gets off work at 5. And
Evening.
Yeah, in the evening, and I'm confused. I'm like, okay, and I call my mom like maybe 50 times, like back to back, and she didn't answer. Now I'm crying. I'm praying like, please let my mom be home.
Right.
Time kept going. Now it's 3 o'clock in the morning the next day, and I hear a whole bunch of footsteps going upstairs, and I'm like, I'm confused now, because I'm like, my mom, we live only me, my mom, and my brother. So why is like multiple footsteps going upstairs? And I remember I was watching Paw Patrol with my little brother laying on my lap, and I finally go upstairs. I leave my brother downstairs, and I go check upstairs, see what's going on. First thing I see is my stepbrother. He playing my game. I never let him play my game, especially GTA. He playing my game. And I walk in, I see my friend from next door, and I'm like, what he doing here? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I turn around, and my whole living room, like my whole front room, is filled with my aunties and my friends. So then I go downstairs, and then I go get my little brother, and I bring him back upstairs. I go in my mama room, and I go in the front room again, and the whole room went quiet. Everybody got drinks in their hand, but the whole room goes quiet.
So they know.
Everybody know in that room.
Right.
And I finally go to my mom, like, what's going on? And my auntie, she looked at me and she said, your mom is gonna talk to you when she's ready. So I go in my room, I'm on the phone with my friend.
You don't know what's going on?
I don't know what's going on. You know, I think it's a surprise or something.
Right.
I'm just happy that my mom home.
Right.
So then I go, and my auntie come back in and she called me and she's like, your mom ready for you. And I go in there, everybody talking, but then as soon as I step in, like into the corridor, my mom, the whole room goes quiet again. So now I see something's off. So I go to my mom, I'm like, Mom, what's going on? Right. My eyes turn red. her eyes start watering, and I don't cry for real. But when I see my mom hurt, I hurt. So I'm
You
I
can
don't
feel
cry.
it.
Yeah. So
Did you know she was gonna say, or you still didn't know?
I still didn't know, because I'm thinking, because remember he said he was going to the gym, so I'm thinking like that,
Right.
like that
Oh,
never
okay.
crossed my mind. So I'm like, what's going on? And she just looked at me, and like a tear just started falling, and I'm really crying. I'm like, what's going on? Because now I'm scared.
Right.
And she's like, Coby was killed yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I instantly just started crying. My cousin, my adopted cousin sitting right here, my brother sitting right here, my brother just sitting there, he don't know what's going on. But I'm literally just crying, and I'm holding my mama tight, and the whole room is just coming around me. And my little brother, he's still just sitting there. And at that point, I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I go to the back, and my mom, and like the very next day, I asked my mom, I'm like, what happened? And she told me what happened. She said she was out there at the crime scene, and she just told me about how like that they were trying to they basically trying to leave all his matter on the concrete, and she
They
told
finna
me
leave his body stuff, organs and stuff.
not like his organs, but like the blood and stuff on the concrete. She literally just told him to just spray it off and stuff.
Right.
But after that, that's when I felt, and it wasn't like I was crying just because he died. I cried because I felt like I had some type of guilt, because around this time, like I said, he was trying to change.
Right.
What I saw as since I wasn't used to his form of discipline, I saw it as like him like trying to hurt me with it, but in reality, he was really teaching me how life would be.
Right.
Like sometimes I gotta keep my mouth shut. Sometimes I can't always be quiet. I can't always, you feel me? So I gotta defend myself sometimes, and that's what he was teaching me. So when he died and he was trying to change, he was like, yo, let's go, I'm gonna take you driving. Let's go hoop real quick.
Right.
And he
Recognizing some of the wrongs he might have had.
Yeah, and I was like, and I kept saying no. I just kept putting out like, I'll go next time.
Right.
He was trying to give me stuff. I was like, oh, you just sit right there instead of opening the door and taking it. So
Right.
I felt that guilt.
Right.
So that's really how I found out.
No, I think that's real that you noticed that though, that you felt that guilt, and you know that, you know. I think that's grown as hell to say things like that though, you know. You know, now that y'all go through that, you know, the internet, it goes crazy. Mama Duck, she go live. She speak on she speaks on her son Brick. But while she's speaking on Brick, Coby name comes up in it. She said something about, you know, it's gonna be some arrests coming later on in this case. Do we got an update on this, you know, because the internet kind of screenshotted some comments that you posted. You know, it kind of goes viral over the internet. The internet nosy as hell. It just kind of shows that, you know, comments saying that arrests are going to be coming soon, basically. That's what the comments say. Is that something we can speak on? You got an update about that, or?
Right now, it's an ongoing investigation, so
Right.
I can't really speak too much about it, but sooner or later it's going to come out.
Okay.
Hey, LG.
Hello.
Hello?
How you doing, ma'am?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's nice to talk to you, ma'am.
Nice to talk to you.
I was speaking, you know, with your relative, and, you know, he kind of told me a few things about, like, your brother and things like that. I wanted to know if it's possible I can ask you a few questions.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
You know, the internet kind of tells stories about, you know, your brother Coby, as far as, you know, his mannerisms, his characteristics. You know, this drill culture tell monster stories about him. You mind if I was to ask you how he was in real life? Because I'm pretty sure he was a funny guy and had good moments.
I mean, like, my brother, he was a stand-up guy.
Right.
Anybody that knew my brother, like, knew, like, he was pure, like his heart was. He'd take his shoes off and give them to you. Like, before my brother had passed away, you know, he was good with the homeless people, taking off, like, the shoes he done purchased, like, the stuff he had. You know, he took it down there, up under the viaducts to pass it out. So, like, the image that the internet is putting out and people putting out of him, that's not him.
Right.
Like, that's the part that they see. But the part that we see is a person that was a family man who was married, who had kids,
Right.
you know, and he loved his mother and his sister,
Right.
you know, and he protected his family. So that's the part that everybody missing. Like, when they called, he came. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked at it like, hell no. Like, if they need me, I'm coming. Because if I'm in a situation, I know I'm gonna need a motherfucker to have my back. So that was his mentality.
Right.
You know,
I totally get
all of this other shit that's going on in the media, what they describing him as, that wasn't my brother. That ain't the person that I grew up with.
Right.
You know, he was a funny guy. Everybody loved my brother. You know, from the females, he was a ladies' man.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, from the females on down.
You know, when you get the news about, you know, your brother Coby, they call you, you finally get the news about this. You know, how's the after effects of dealing with not having a brother? Because the culture don't really know that. They just see the rappers, you know, they talk about getting money. They don't know it's real family members who have to deal with, like, life after this.
I mean, that kind of, like, that bothers me. You
Right.
know, because it's like, that's all I had was my brother. Like, it was just me and him. You know, he was the oldest. I was the youngest, you know. And my brother, you know, he did what he wanted to do, you know, regardless of what. Like, you could try to talk to him. He did what he wanted to do. He put his family first. And I felt like that's what got him, you know,
Right.
in a situation that he was in.
Right.
You know. But it hurted me when I found out about it because we just had dinner, you know, that Sunday.
Oh.
We sitting here kicking it like, he like, man, I'm finna fall back. You know, we just was sitting there chilling, talking. We had Sunday dinner with my mom.
Right.
You know, he was getting ready to start back working that, you know, that following Monday.
Right.
I don't know what happened, you know, why he went outside, but, you know, he went out to go get his son bikes. He went out to the gym. He did the daily routines that he was doing, but he had fell back, you know, from being outside, being out there hanging out with people. You know, he was getting ready to leave Chicago.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, you know, last thing I want to ask you though, you know, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you too. What I want to ask you is, I actually asked Tristan about an update on Coby. You know, the internet kind of tells a story about his case. It's kind of getting forwarded. Tristan didn't really tell me nothing. He said it's an ongoing investigation, so he didn't want to speak on that. I want to say, is there any words you have to say about his case or anything like that?
It's an ongoing investigation. I can't say too much anything.
Right.
You know, I don't want to mess up what they got going on. So, you know, once they get taken care of, then yeah. But other than that, I can't too much tell you nothing.
Right. But the family do want justice, though. This ain't like, you know, we not involved. We don't want the police involved. You do want justice for Coby.
No, we want justice. You know, we want justice. I know for a fact, yeah, we do.
Right.
Yeah, we do. You know, yes, we do.
Right.
My mom wanted, I wanted, his family wanted. Yes, we do. We want justice.
Right.
And I believe, you know, regardless of, you know, what happened and what's going on out here, everybody deserves justice for their kids and their loved ones that they done lost. You know, it's tragic. It's sad that it happened. You know, I'm glad that out of all the years, you know, since he been gone, now we got something, you know what I'm saying, to like actually have a closure to.
Right.
Versus not being out here, not knowing what was going on, not knowing what happened. Now that we got a little bit of information, now we can have some type of closure and justice.
Right. I totally understand that. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you reaching out to me, but I just want people to know, like, don't put that title on my brother like that. You know, he was a cool-ass dude, and coming from being raised from the low end, everybody know, like, what type of brother, you know, he was, what type of person that he was, what type of person my brother was. Like, he might have been known for whatever he did on his timing, but on our timing, they know that shit wasn't right.
Right.
You know. That's all I really gotta say and speak on that part. I just been quiet for too long and just looking at the media and everybody blogging and talking about negativity,
Right.
you know, things about him, and that shit that's not all the way accurate. And I'm the only person that can really speak on that.
Right. I totally understand you on that. I'm going to make sure I get that out. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I appreciate that. Now, you be safe out there.
You too.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. You know, I got a couple more questions I want to ask. I ain't going to hold you too long.
No, you good.
News break. Your dead cousin, Duck, is involved in the biggest case coming out of Chicago in a while. I mean, this shit being blogged on TMZ. 50 Cent made a documentary about it. It's in the Chicago Sun-Times. Were you shocked when you heard about this whole Duck situation? Did that just throw you all the way out?
The murder itself, kinda. Actually, the day that I found out that he got shot, at least, I think I was outside playing catch with my homie.
Right.
And my mom come outside. I witnessed a live stream, and he just sitting there. He moving, but he just like laying there.
Right.
And I tell my mom, I said, he'll be okay. He's still moving. He good.
So you seen it on the TV?
I seen it on my mom's phone. Yeah.
Damn.
And she just came to me and was like, yeah. And I told her, I said, nah, he'll be good. He's still moving. Paramedic, I'm sure the people there, they gonna help him. And as the live stream kept going on, I'm realizing that nobody going to him. Nobody, like the police are more focused on doing this and all that. And when he died, and I heard that he died, I was like, dang, as soon as he died, of course, she got people that, because I was one of the people, like, I was avid Duck listener. Like, I was posting it every time I'm driving.
Right, bumping that Duck all the time.
I didn't care where I was.
Right.
So, as soon as he died, you got a mixture of people, like, they sending their support and their condolences, but then they also sending me memes and trying to troll.
Also,
so yeah,
people do know that you're in the blood and you're related and shit, so they using it against you?
In a sense, yeah.
Okay.
So after he died, I kind of just really just got, like, at that point, I just told myself, like, I was kind of numb to it.
Right.
I don't want to let it affect me too much because I was still in high school when it happened. I had to finish my couple years. So
when the case get to going, do it kind of get you wondering if you ever gonna get justice, or well, you never think about
when
it.
I heard that the feds, like, when FBI picked it up, I was like, part of me already knew that he was gonna get justice. Like, justice was coming soon because downtown, I mean, like, if he got killed somewhere out south, they probably wouldn't care for it. But in that specific area, automatically something's gonna happen. It may not happen soon, but it was gonna happen eventually. So
Is it being hard? Is it hard though? You know, I don't know. This might sound like another stupid question. But is it hard being related to Coby and Brick and being from that area and everybody playing King Von, Lil Durk, Chief Keef?
I see music as art.
You see music as art?
I don't judge people. I got people. A lot of my friends, most of my friends are claim different sets, but I'm not a part of it. I'm gonna listen to whatever I want. If it sounds good, I'm gonna listen to it.
So you don't hold that shit in the music. You listen to whatever the fuck you want to listen to.
Yeah.
Right. How did you stay away from these gangs and shit? Like, cause you seem like you on the right track.
Trying to be.
Yeah, trying to be. Shit do get hard now.
Yeah, but I really just, low key, it was really my mom that, like, kept me on track for real.
That's mom saying on you.
Yeah, my brother, like, I gotta make sure that I'm a role model to him because he going, like, if my mom leave, he becomes an orphan. So I gotta make sure that he on the right path so he knows what to do just in case that does happen.
No, that's a fact.
So right now I got everything I do, I think about him. Like, what would he do if I was to leave?
Right.
So that's what, and then sports too.
So that's what you went. You went to sport route.
Yeah.
You didn't go to rap route.
I try every sport that there was.
I see you do wrestling and shit like that.
Yeah, wrestling, baseball. I did track, soccer for a little bit.
How you stay out of rap? How did you stay out of that? You never came to that point where you wanted to be the next drill rapper?
Drill rapper wasn't my thing. I'm more of a...
Stay out of that?
Yeah, I kind of expanded my category. I love country music, pop music. I don't like hearing about people dying 24/7.
No, I totally get that. You know, any advice, man, for a young man in Chicago, you know, 19, 18, 17, 16, out here in Chicago, so a lot of influences in the street. Any advice for them before we get up out of here, Tristan?
If you feel like you don't have the money or the time, make sure you get a regular job. Standing on the corner, it ain't gonna do nothing but put you and your family in danger. Go get you a good 9 to 5. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That corner shit, it's people just run to them corners when shit get rough on it.
Yeah.
That shit crazy. What's your social media? You want to get it out? People can find you. Somebody might want to talk to you again. Somebody might want to book you because they think you're dope, man. I think you got a dope story, and we ain't really even touched on it all the way. You know, we just touched on little small points of it, though. But
Yeah.
social media.
Instagram is TMAC_3.0.
Mm-hmm. You got anything you're doing in the future that people can look for? Any content you make or anything like that?
Nope, just we're trying to stay focused on working.
You ever thought about blogging? Telling your story from being a young man who done lost people and went through shit? I think a lot of people will listen to it.
I make a lot of stories about myself, autobiographies, but that's it.
Also, you do that?
Not like publicly.
Okay,
I
right.
don't need to come on here or something.
I think I just gave Tristan the idea. I think later on, Tristan is going to go back and he going to think about it because, you know, you experience with 700 kids a year experience out here, you know, death of like family members and shit like that. And, you know, the real life, the internet makes shit look cool as hell, but shit not cool, you know.
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, Tristan.
Thank you. Pleasure.
That's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Report.